Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. For today I have now a quick review, demonstration and overall conclusion about these three particular classes: Berserker, Crusader and Paladin. I'm choosing these three classes together because they are very similar, and if you have all three relics it is very likely that you can just play either or depending on the particular situation that you are facing at the moment. So I just want to show you guys how good these classes are, which one is going to be the best for each particular scenario. Like for example, if you want to go to a dungeon and you need to know which of them deals the most DPS, then that's what you need to know. You want to know which of these particular classes is going to be better for killing monsters in the real world, then you will be able to know that as well through this video. I'm going to be starting with a quick demonstration of each class and if they have like any particular rotation or order in which you have to use the skills. I will make sure to demonstrate that, and then after that we're going to go for a testing of DPS to ensure that you guys can see exactly which of them deals the most amount of damage in the shorter amount of time. And then after that I'm going to do a quick demonstration with like at least, I don't know, 5 different type of monsters, right? I'm going to kill all these different types of monsters one after the other, right, in a real scenario. So which this means is that I'm going to do it like the way I would do it if I am trying to kill something to complete a quest or just want to farm that specific monster, right? So if I have to rest, I'm going to rest. If I have to use a potion, I'm going to use a potion. That way you guys are going to have an idea of more or less how strong these classes are and which one you actually want to play for each particular scenario. See you in a bit. We're going to start with the quick demonstration of the skills and overall situation for each class. Hello. So then, we are going to be speaking now about my armor, overall weapons I'm going to be using for the testing, what is going to be like rotation, if there is any rotations that you need to follow, and pretty much everything that you need to know about the classes so that you are aware of more or less how they work. We're going to be starting with Berserker. Berserker is a very simple class. All your attacks just deal damage. You have a stun, you have a skill that would allow you to recover your HP, like this one, Bloodlust, that increases your healing when you are doing damage. Is like 16% of the damage is going to be healing, right? You have a stun that, depending on the amount of stacks that you use, would last 1 or 2 seconds. You have a slow with hamstring that reduces the movement speed by 30%. You have your execute that deals a lot of damage, and you have an undying fury that makes you take 30% more damage, but at the same time you're not able to die for 6 seconds. You have a dash to get close to enemies. You have another slow with battle cry, and well, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skills that deal damage and that have a very low cooldown. Is there any rotation that you should be following with Berserker? No, really. Like, just use all your skills until you get your 20 stacks, use your execute. After 8 seconds, you need to make sure that you're ready again with your 20 stacks to use another execute. It's very simple. I'm going to do a quick demonstration here. For example, if I do all of this, boom, 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 now I use my execute, and then all I have to do is now keeping track of my cooldowns and use all my skills as soon as they are available. It's as simple as what you can see here, right? There's nothing like really extreme to know about Berserker. That's pretty much it. And of course, like one of my remarks for this class is that this class is really strong for PvP. Your entire kit is really strong to use on a PvP battle. So if you're looking for something regarding like dealing a lot of damage and using a class also for PvP, Berserker is definitely one of your best options. We're moving to Paladin now. Okay, Paladin is a little bit different. I mean, you have 1, 2, 3 skills that normally do damage and have a very low cooldown. To be honest, the cooldown is not long. One of them is Sanctification that deals AoE damage and recovers all your mana. So Paladin is not really a class that will require damage for you. Mana for you to use. Yes, the skills use mana, but since you recover all your mana with Sanctification, mana is meaningless for this class. You never will run out of mana. You have Deliverance, which is your a skill that deals the most amount of damage, but it requires a stack of Holy Wrath. And you have Holy Storm that deals about half the damage of Deliverance, but in an AoE. Every monster around you would receive damage from that. You have a stun, and you have Divine Protection that is pretty much kind of like a small shield that when the enemy breaks it, then it heals you a little bit. It's nothing crazy, right? And then you have Divine Fury, which is what allows you to get an immediate stack of Holy Wrath so that you can start your battle immediately with that, and then you can use your 3 skills and hope that you are getting another stack so that you can do Deliverance again. Deliverance is only 5 seconds cooldown and is the skill that you're looking forward to use pretty much all the time. Sometimes you want to use Holy Storm just in case you get another stack, right? Because every time that you're attacking with a stack that is already available there, if you get another one, it would just going to overlap that. That one is deleted, so you lose one stack. And of course, you always need to enchant your weapon. Bless your weapon with Martyr, which is what allows you to get Holy Wrath whenever you're attacking. The way in which this works is like your swim speed, so the attack speed of your weapon, multiply by 7 if I'm not wrong. There is a calculation for that in my video for Paladin, right? I already did a video for this, so there is no rotation. You use again, start with your Deliverance, and then immediately attack with your other skills, and then hope you get another stack, and then wait for Deliverance, and use Deliverance again. It's as simple as that. I don't think that I need to do anything else with this class. PvP may be decent because of the damage with Deliverance, but the problem is that if you're not able to get stacks, you're doomed, because your key doesn't revolve around, being able to keep your enemy close to you, so they can continue to move away, and you only have a stun that has a long cooldown of 42 seconds. So it's very, very hard for this class to catch up once an enemy goes far away. And then the other class is going to be Crusader, right? So Crusader is a one-handed weapon class, so I have to change my weapons. And this one does have a rotation. You need to use your strength buff and then make sure that your weapon is blessed with Dragonfire. It's really bad that when you bless your weapons with Dragonfire, it is not showing an icon on top of here showing you that your weapon is blessed. You can see it on your weapon itself, but if you do something like moving your weapons around, then they are no longer blessed. Or if you, swap your weapon for another weapon, then that will also make it so that the weapons are not blessed anymore. And fighting as a Crusader without blessing your weapons is really, really, really bad. So make sure that you're always blessing your weapons. And if there is a dev watching this video, please just add the icon so that we can know that the weapon is blessed. Right. There is definitely a rotation for this class. Everything is so tight together that you really need to make sure that you are keeping track of what you are doing and what is going to be your next move. Many of your skills require 5 stacks of, let me check what's the name, the Dragon Wrath, right? Sorry, no. We need Dragon Seal stacks. So you need 5 stacks for you to get the best benefits from this skill, which is Reckoning of Ethyrial. You need 5 for the healing as well. You need 5 even to be able to use Draconic Onslaught, which is your harder hitting skill, and you need the stacks as well for you to be able to use your stun, right? It's going to be 3 stacks and then 1 second per stack that you use, right? You can use at least 1 stack to stun, but if you use 3, then it's going to be a 3-second stun, right? That's how it works. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skills that deal damage, 2 skills that give you attack speed, Reckoning of Ethyrial and Draconic Fury. This one also gives you movement speed. This one also gives you additional damage as well. So, and also deals puts like a dot on the enemy so that they receive more damage as well over time. You have a heal that recovers your mana and applies Divine Shield. So, really, really important here. Divine Shield uses absorbs damage, but this is really, really important because again, this is another class that does use mana to attack and to use his skills. But if you're using your rotation properly, you will never run out of mana. You will never need mana for this class, and you will be able to kill one after the other and after the other without any problems, right? So rotation that I follow, I would start with Draconic Fury and then Reckoning of Ethyrial, right? But before that, I need to get my stacks. So what do I do for that? I would use Dragon Strike, Dragon Cleave, and then I'm going to wait until I do 3 auto attacks so that I can get a free stack. Then now it will be at 3 stacks of Dragon Seal. Once I have 3 stacks of Dragon Seal, then I can use Draconic Shock Blast, because if I do it that way, then Draconic Shock Blast deals 50% increased damage, and it gives me 5 stacks. Sorry, it's going to bring me up to 5 stacks immediately, right? Then I can immediately use my Reckoning of Ethyrial, followed by Draconic Fury. And then once I'm done with this, I use my skills again to get another 5 stacks, and then I'm going to use Dragon Slot. And then once I use Dragon Slot, I will be using my skills again to get my 5 stacks, and then use Touch of Ethyrial so that I can recover all of my mana and also heal myself and apply the shield. That's the rotation. Again, 5 stacks for using Reckoning of Ethyrial along with Draconic Fury, 5 stacks to use Draconic Onslaught, and 5 stacks to use your Touch of Ethyrial so that you can recover all your mana, HP, and get your shield. So quick demonstration. This is what I want to do. Just attack with my skills. Again, I have 3. Then now I have 5. I use all my other skills. And then now I have to do is attack until I get my 5 stacks. And use Onslaught. There it is. Then again, waiting for cooldowns. I'm not using that skill because I need to wait until it's 5. Okay, there you go. Healing. And that's it. And then from this on, you can see just it's pretty much almost there for me to be able to use this skill again. And then now I can continue with my rotation all over again. And as you can see, the cooldown is matching pretty much perfectly, right? Don't use more skills when you are full at stacks, because you want to make sure that you are getting those stacks for your next skill that you're going to use, right? Or if you want to maximize your DPS and then use a couple of mana potions, and you can use a boy using this and then just go ham on only doing your skills whenever you have them available. I do enjoy using my rotation because that would allow me to continue to stay healthy for battles and also recover my mana. I don't want to be using potions all the time. In any case, that's pretty much what I have to do with the skills and the classes. Now let's go ahead and check the gear real quick. I'm using the entire set of Dolinar gear upgraded to level 38 and enchanted with full strength. You definitely need Vampiric or Bloodthirst if you have Bloodthirst, right? So that you can make sure that you are staying full heal. Like, Touch of Ethyrial is not enough for you to stay maximum heal if you are killing many monsters. I'm using Unstable Element, level 35 Trinket, and I'm using Giant's Razor, a level 33 Trinket that you get by killing a bunch of Cyclops, and then you get a special drop, and that special drops then can be processed by a Yule crafting to make that trinket. Still using level 33 necklaces and rings, right? So I'm thinking about finding a way to upgrade this soon. I'm hoping I can find someone that is like level 38 Yule crafting so they can make it for me. But in any case, that's pretty much it when it comes to the gear. This is for Crusader, of course. When I'm playing Paladin and Berserker, I'm going to be using the Axe of the Titan. Right? Axe of the Titan is a really strong skill, strong weapon, and deals a lot of damage, and is my preferred weapon for Berserker and Paladin. This is the gear I'm going to be using for the testing that I'm going to be showing you guys now. So we are going to be proceeding with that in a moment. And after that, I'm just going to give you guys my final thoughts after I show you all of the different battles and all of the different monsters that you can kill with all 3 classes. See you in a bit. Okay, so we are here for the final thoughts about my testing. I'm actually pretty impressed because they did some changes to Berserker recently, and it is feeling way, way, way better to play Berserker now. You are able to survive more, but you are still on the weaker side when it comes to the damage that you are taking. Since you are getting a debuff that makes you receive 20% more damage, that definitely makes it so that you probably would need to rest more than other classes and also would need to use potions every now and then. My suggestion to improve Berserker and to make it so that it is on par with Paladin and Crusader is to ensure that they change the cooldown for blood loss. So it is 36 seconds right now, which is way too long. This is pretty much the amount of time that it would take me to finish 3 battles. If they make it so that it is 24 seconds instead, now I will be able to use blood loss every 2 battles, and then I can recover all of my HP or close to all of my HP once I use this skill and I continue battling my next monster, keeping the class active and being able to kill one after another monster without any problems. I do believe the Berserker is a really, really great class right now, but it does for sure require more investments than the other classes. For example, all Crusader and Paladin are working perfectly fine with Vampirism, but if I had Bloodthirst on my weapon, which is 10% lifesteal instead of 6, that probably would allow me to have Berserker to be on par with these other 2 classes. But I don't have Bloodthirst available right now. I will need to farm it, and I will need to get someone that is able to enchant it for me. In any case, all 3 classes are pretty strong. I just want to let you know that, for example, for Cyclops, I was not using this weapon. I was using this one here with Paladin and with Berserker, because those guys are resistant to earth damage, and this weapon changes all your damage to earth damage. And when it comes to that for Berserker, it's all of your skills are doing earth damage. It's not the same for like Paladin, because only your basic attacks do earth damage, and then all of your other skills are divine damage, right? So it definitely plays a good role for you to have in this weapon, because then that allows you to kill monsters that are weak to earth damage, right? And then you will need to avoid, like a plague, enemies that are resistant to earth damage. But pretty much, guys, I do think that all 3 classes are very on par, but when it comes to DPS, we have to understand that Berserker is king. Berserker is just way stronger when it comes to DPS. Sustained DPS, at least, is more reliable. Even though Paladin sometimes looks like it is doing way more damage, your damage is always depending on you getting the stacks. If you don't get any stacks, then your damage is going to be super low. Berserker doesn't worry about that. You just have to press your buttons as soon as they are available and use your execute as soon as it is available. In any case, all 3 classes are pretty fun, and I do enjoy playing Berserker a lot now. Berserker was my first class that I made in the game, and I'm happy to see it being changed. And again, I just hope that please listen to me and lower the cooldown of this skill to 24 seconds so that the class feels complete now. In any case, guys, thank you so much for being here, and see you in the next one. Peace.